Dear DM, where to even begin? Thank you seems appropriate, but it's lacking a certain luster that I feel like you deserve. Thank you is great, and for some DMs, that's all they need, and for others, even less. But there are so many things you do for me, and thousands of us that are lucky enough to experience sharing the table with you. The way you guide us through the world, highlight our victories, and console us in our defeats. The empathy you show us after we march into battle when we just weren't ready. The places you take us and the people we meet, sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need that escape from the real world around us. Thank you for letting us build the world with you and taking the time to hear us out. We might not always have the best plan, but when we say, "Can we try this?" and it's an outrageous and downright bad idea, you still say, "Yes, and." Never letting our desires go unheard, and rarely letting those ideas die in the darkness of our wild imaginations. Thank you for the platform to nourish and feed our interpersonal relationships both in-game and in real life. Sitting around the gaming table eating pizza or wings, or pizza and wings, while our characters sit at the local pub, hiding away, planning their next move. Thank you for running modules, testing ideas, and thinking outside the box for our sake. The late nights compiling notes and information, the lore perfectly peppered around with just enough interest for us to bite, but not too distracting if we needed to move on. For letting us make our own decisions and not feel trapped in a sandbox, but simultaneously weaving the blanket of our collective story right before our eyes. Where do I even begin with the homebrew content? The hours of gathering info, art, miniatures, terrain, music, sound effects, and I haven't even gotten to the cinematics yet. The roleplay. My favorite part. Thank you for giving us the space to interact with each other around the table in your world. All the unique places, names, features, cultures, practices, and the list truly goes on. Thank you for allowing us to inject our own ideas and lore and weaving them into the story so seamlessly. You deserve more credit for being patient while we sit around the table and completely derail the combat you spent hours planning. And when the combat does go more according to plan, damn, we all wish we hadn't derailed the last combat because this one was so fun and we want more. Thank you for making the stakes of the game feel real. I can't tell you how many times I had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast trying to figure my way out of a sticky situation because the pressure was on. At this point, I actually can't imagine my life without D&D. It's been a part of my expression for nearly 2 decades. Whether it was playing, writing, painting, drawing, and even planning, it's always been there. For all the DMs who might be struggling thinking their story isn't strong, or that RP moment didn't hit as hard as you imagined it would, I promise you're being too harsh on yourself. When we're sitting at the table, eagerly waiting to hear what that new NPC sounds like, or how much damage that critical hit is going to do, nothing short of an actual emergency is going to take us out of that moment. We are there with you, and loving every moment. Thank you for letting us be 100% ourselves with no judgment. Thank you. Hey everybody, if you made it this far, thank you. This is my love letter to all the DMs out there who are bringing us together. Hopefully it wasn't too cheesy for you. If you feel like this applies to you, well, you're in luck because it most likely does. If you don't think it does, take a closer look because, well, I'm sure it does. If you think someone you know needs to hear this, do me and them a favor and share this with them. It would make me happy knowing that we may have just put a smile on their face. It can be hard to just say thank you or outwardly acknowledge someone for something they did, at least for me anyway. This year, I'm going to be better at that. I want to be as brave and friendly as my character, and I want to be more expressive. So once again, thank you for allowing me the space to do so. I'll see you soon.